Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sumukascha Yekadantascha Kapilo Gajakarnakaha Lambodharascha Vikato Vignarajo Vinayakaha Dhumaketurganadhyakshaha Palachandro Gajananaha Vakratundaha Surpakarno Herambah Skandapurvajaha Sutlam Bharadharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopasantaye Yaschat Viradavaktradhya Parishadhya Parasatam Vignam Nignanti Satatam Vishvaksenam Tamasraye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheswaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Satchidananda Rupaya Krishnaya Aklishtakarine Namo Vedanta Vedhyaya Gurave Buddhisakshine Krishna Dvaipaya Namvyasam Sarva Bhuta Hiteratam Vedabcha Bhaskaram Bande Samadhi Nilayam Munim Sahasramurte Purushottamasya Sahasra Netranana Padabaho Sahasranam Stavanam Prachastham Viruchyate Janma Jaradi Shantiyai. Bhagavan, let us continue. We came up to Slokam number 59. We did that last class. Vedaha Swango Chita Krishno Drida Sankashano Chitaha Varuno Varuno Vrikshaha Pushkarakshaha Mahamanaha. Now the next slokam we take up, number 60. Bhagavan Bhagahanandi Vanamali Hala Yudaha Adityo Jyotiradityaha Sagishnur Gadisattamah. Bhagavan Bhagahanandi Vanamali Hala Yudaha Adityo Jyotiradityaha Sagishnuhu Gadisattamah. Now, Bhagavan, we say Bhagavan so many times, and generally people attribute Bhagavan to Aishwaryam. Bhagam means immediately they talk about 6 types of Aishwaryam that Bhagavan has. Bhagavan is the only one who possesses these six aspects of Aishwaryam, the 6 aspects of what we call as prosperities or wealth. That one is Aishwaryam, which is wealth, Kirti, Dharmam, Lakshmi, Vairagyam, and Moksha. So, Aishwaryam means lordship. The Ishvara means master. So, Aishwarya, Bhagavan is the one who is a lord. Dharmam, we all heard that before. Kirti is not just fame or reputation. It is an enduring, everlasting aspect that brings out automatic reverence from people when you think of that person. If you think of M.S. Subbulakshmi today, for example, automatically there is a reverence that wells up within us, isn't it? That comes only from sacrifice, only from spiritual advancement, selflessness, and from sacrifice. That Kirti, Lakshmi is a repository of all resources. Okay, not limited to Ashtalakshmis, it's actually infinite resources are there. Vairagyam is the really not being unconcerned, not being bothered with all the worldly things, all the things that appear and disappear in Jagat, not being bothered or concerned or being attached to it. They just come and go, and you live very joyously, blissfully in their midst, and not being touched by them. vairagyam, then moksham is moha kshayam. And Bhagavan is the place where moksha is. So that is why we call him Bhagavan. And what is that one aspect there is moha kshayam. And moha means delusion, the false sense. Everything that we think and we do and we speak is actually false, because everything is operated on basis of illusion, isn't it? And while it is mesmerizing, tantalizing, and all that, they're based only on falsehood. And even if when I speak about Bhagavan, for example, it's really not truth. Only the truth comes in only when I'm able to share the experience. But anything else that from other than personal experiences, all the other things that the mind plays the games of this is what Bhagavan is, this is what, etc., etc. Those are all falsehood because they're all imaginations and speculations. And that moham is a delusion. The delusion is basically one of falsehood. And what is falsehood? Falsehood is something that is not truth, which is what is not truth? It's like the image in a mirror. The image in a mirror is really a falsehood. That's not the reality. Now, and the falsehood is simply that what I think about myself. If I think I'm so and so, right? And what based upon identification of profession, identification of gender or height or whatever it could be, right? They're all temporary. So in that sense, they are falsehood. Whereas if I identify myself with the truth, which I generally don't, which is that I am divinity itself, okay, the Aham Brahmasmi, as a Vedic Upanishad says, if I don't do that identification, anything other than that is falsehood. Now that falsehood, Shayam, that means in Bhagavan's place, that Shayam, that is non-existent. Moha Shayam. Shayam means decline. Shayam also means declining to a stage where it ceases to exist. So these aspects of Bhagavan that we attribute to him, Bhagavan is not attributed to himself. And we call that as Bhagam. Bhagam means these are the effulgences in which Bhagavan shines. So that is Bhagavan. Another thing Sankara Bhagavan says is that it's amazing when seriously and truthfully, Bhagavan really knows everything that's going on. It is not like there are things happen in this world, whether it's in the depth of my mind or in the depth of darkness somewhere, or an ant is crawling, let's say, on the crevice of a wall or whatever. It's amazing. Even amazing, the word doesn't capture it. Bhagavan knows every little thing that takes place. Not a single thing escapes his attention. It is really the truth. As Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, Bhagavan, Swami hears even the footsteps, the footfalls of an ant, he says. Even when an ant crawls, the noise that the ant feet make, even that Bhagavan hears. And nothing in this universe, in the corners of this universe, in the depth of the valley or top of the mountain really doesn't matter. And even in the midst of a desert, right, or in the depth of the ocean, Bhagavan knows every little thing that happens. And it is not only that he knows, he's aware, he also is aware of what is going to happen next, what is happening at what point in time, and what happened in the past. This existence, the Sat-Chit Anandam, Satchidanandam we say, that Chit, that knowledge that is always present and shining in its effulgence. It doesn't decrease, it doesn't increase. That is also Bhagavan. Now, Bhagaha, when you hear the word Ha, Bhagaha, Ha actually means haram, the samharam. When immediately samharam means, we think it is delusion and death and pralayam and all that. No, haram actually means garland. And samhara means that when we disappear, Bhagavan takes us back, and wears us, all of us as garland. Now, there's another word is going to come beautifully somewhere. I think it's coming another nama. What are the garlands that Bhagavan actually is wearing, right? So all the things that appear, they're also a garland on Bhagavan only, and all the things that disappear is samhara. They also become a garland. The bhagaha, so the various effulgences, the various aspects that we think and we seek, and we keep our support falsely but automatically on the various things that we try to support ourselves on, like either wealth or whether position, power, knowledge, intellect, scholarship, so many things that we tend to hold on to as our support, right? So all those bhaga that we talk about, the 6 aspects that we attribute to Bhagavan, they all disappear. Please remember that, bhagaha. What does this mean? Bhagavan is, all these aspects are various gunas only, attributes that are made by you and me. But Bhagavan is gunatitaya namaha, guna atitaya. He is beyond all these gunas. He is in the gunas also, but he is beyond that too. That is what makes it so tantalizing and attractive. Right? The essence in all this, which is absolutely invisible, always present. And that is the one that's beyond all the bhaga. So when the time of pralayam comes, right now I'm exhibiting certain gunas, right? And all the effulgences behind the gunas, not the gunas themselves. The effulgences behind the gunas, each one of us, move about. But then the physical form vanishes. What happens to those bhagas? Bhagavan, with the samharam, that they disappear. In the time of disappearance, these gunas also disappear. Bhagavan, bhagaha, nandi, anandi or anandi. Bhagaha, nandi, we can say like that. If you elongate the bhagaha, then there's a a comes there. That's what Sankara Bhagavad Padal takes it both ways. Anandi as well as nandi. So anandi, one who's anandam. So come. Anandam is not happiness. We have to be very careful. Again, I mentioned this probably several times, in understanding things in English. Okay? And there's a tendency, I know I'm conducting this in English right now, because I think some of you maybe are more comfortable in hearing it in English than in, let's say, our mother tongue. But the fact that I am comfortable in hearing in a certain language doesn't automatically give me the ability to understand the meanings of these words precisely. Please understand that. That's very important. You've got to go to the Sanskrit word, not translate it into English and then struggle. So when we say anandam, it's not happiness. Anandam is blissful. And again, then we must ask, how can this bliss be? What is different? We use the word Slokam. Bhagavan is always in Slokam. So that's why samasta lokaha sukhino bhavantu is what we pray. Sukham is something that is beyond happiness, because happiness is always followed by sadness, by misery. Whereas if there is something that's totality is there, where there's no suffering, no misery, only when there is contentment, only when there's fulfillment. Something is total, absolutely, that stage is Sukham. And the totality comes in, if I'm contented, then I'm total, simple. Only when I want something, a deficiency comes. Only when I desire something, a deficiency comes. The moment a desire arises, your happiness is robbed. Then you move away from the position of totality. So one who is contented always, contented. That Sukham, that comes from that is Anandi, one who is the form of bliss. One is a form of Sukham. So Sukhadaya, we say, because Bhagavan is Sukham only, Bhagavan is bliss only, Bhagavan is Anandam only, so we seek that from him. Because only a person who has got something can give it to others. So if I seek Sukham from him, not only for me, for Sukham for all beings in all worlds, please remember that is the most favorite, that's the prayer that pleases Bhagavan the most. Is I seek the welfare and well-being of others, Bhagavan is extremely pleased with me. And that Sukha Rupam, that Ananda Rupam, that the form of that is Anandi. Now if you take it as Nandi, Nandi means Nandana, Nandana, and all we say, right? Nandi means one who possesses all types of wealth. And what is, again, wealth is an English word. And when the moment you say Lakshmi, Lakshmi Karam, we say in Sanskritam, in our vernacular, Lakshmi Karam, that captures that. When we say Lakshmi Nivasa, why Srinivasa, we say, what does it mean that Lakshmi is sitting on the right hand of, right heart of, the heart of Sita, the heart of Bhagavan and all that? It simply means all the resources that have been provided to sustain the things that have been created. That is Lakshmi. And there are two aspects have been given, Bhudevi and Sri Devi and all that, but basically that everything is Lakshmi there. And the entity that is God, that has all the resources required. See, as Swami beautifully says, and this is an amazing truth that is taking place in our life, and that gives an insight into the presence of Bhagavan. And where we all think there is creation, there is sustenance, and then there is the dissolution and all that, right? That's the way we've been taught, Srishti, Sthiti, and Samhara, like that we say. So, because it is given in that sequential form, automatically we understand that creation takes place, followed by whatever has been created has to be sustained. So sustaining takes place, and then whatever has being sustained has got to disappear takes place. No, it's not like that. So what is beauty is in the divine play, all these are simultaneous. It is not one after the other. It is a very important aspect to understand intellectually. Example, as I may have shared with you, before I am born from my mother's womb, as my body comes out of my mother's body, and then I take my first cry, so that I start breathing, the life force starts acting. Then all of us are born, you, me, the cows, it doesn't matter. All of us are born with a natural instinct. The instinct is to suck at mother's breast for milk, because that is sustenance. Because the body is there, the body has to live, so milk is required. Now, where does the milk come from? The beauty is, before the body comes out, this is the beauty, because the milk is already ready. So the sustenance for something that is created is already provided before it is created. Please remember that. Same way in our life, before a problem and a challenge comes in my life, the beauty is the solution is already present. Solution does not follow a problem as we are normally taught. Solution is already present. The problem comes with its solution, but not without a solution. Then please remember that. So every in a challenge we may have in life, believe this. This is the truth, that the challenge may be there. While I'm struggling to find a solution, believe that Bhagavan is taking care and solution is already there. It is going to manifest, but it is already present. And that aspect of Nandi, one who is the repository, the place of all the resources, all the wealth, and he is total and full and complete in that. And what does this mean to you and me, sir? It is all good to hear. How can I relate this to on a personal basis? Very simple. The Anandi, Nandi, when you enjoy it both ways, as Sankara Bhattar teaches us, the moment I'm contented, in other words, Yel labase nija karmopatam vittam tena vinodaya chittam is what Adi Sankara teaches us in Bhagavad Gita. Be contented with what you get with your hard and dedicated work. Whatever comes to you, turn your mind to that contentment, to that source of wealth. That contentment, moment I have that, there is totality. There is nothing that is needed, nothing more needed. And when there is totality, I have all the wealth, all the full of Lakshmi Karam only, all the wealth that is there. So then, anybody who interacts with me and what am I spreading in my life, the vibrations of peace, vibrations of sukham, and vibrations of happiness and joy. Peace, shantam, comes only from contentment, and from there comes saukhyam. And that is what Nandi means, one who gives all the wealth to people. Okay? So Anandi, Nandi. Vanamali, so Bhagavan, Bhagaha Nandi, Vanamali, Hala Yudaha. Vanamali is when we think of Bhagavan Sriman Narayana, we say he's got the garland of, we call the garland, the name we have given is Vaijayanti. Now, Vaijayanti, when Mahalakshmi appears on the churning of the milk ocean, and she comes and falls at the feet of Sriman Narayana, and then yearns to him to accept her as his devotee, as his bhakta, completely surrenders to him. And then Bhagavan accepts her. What does Mahalakshmi do? She carries this garland. And this garland that she carries in her hand, this is the story, but what does it mean to you and to me? I'll also share with you. She puts the garland around Bhagavan's neck. That Vaijayanti Mala, we call it. Now, in the created world, there are so many resources. Everything is attracting. Now, I've got 5 senses. Whatever I see, I'm attracted to it. If I just see it in a cursory manner, without really looking at something for more than a cursory moment, then more than a kshanam, nothing happens. But if I look at it a little bit longer, then immediately that attracts. Okay? And if I hear something, so many noises happen in this world, I don't pay attention to that. The moment I pay attention to a sound, then immediately I'm attracted to the sound. Same thing on smell, same thing on taste, same thing on touch. So through these 5 senses, I experience and interact with this created world of mine. What is the thing that attracts me in what I see? What is it that attracts me in what I hear? Is that element of the object, the subject matter, whatever I see. If I see even a table, even if I see a sofa, doesn't matter, or a carpet for a minute, immediately my eye sees it, and the carpet, spring in the carpet attracts me, so I realize it as a carpet. The essence in that object that my senses perceive that attracts me, that is the garland. That's called tanmatrai. Tanmatrai in Sanskrit. Now, the five senses of perception, correspondingly, the objects in the world also correspond to each sense of perception, and this forms a garland around me, around my own neck that I'm wearing. And this is the Vaijayanti Mala. The Tanmatrai that is present is a Vaijayanti Mala. It is beautiful. This is how Lakshmi is present in all our lives. Now, this garland that goes around my neck is not to me, who thinks that I'm this body and moving around in selfishness and all that. That's why Lakshmi is not manifested in my life in the way that she is present with Sriman Narayana. The moment that this garland that's going on, that Lakshmi is putting around, is for the indweller within me. The love that is within me is what is being garlanded by all the objects in creation. So that is Tanmatra. That is Vanamali, one who is wearing that in creation. Hala Yudaha. The Hala Yudaha, Ayudam. Hala is the that weapon, that implement, the agricultural implement that Balarama carries in his hand. So it's not Balarama. We call it Kalapai in Tamil, and I don't know the English word for it. Then Bhagavan, Bhagaha Nandi, Vanamali, Hala Ayudaha, Hala Yudaha. Adityaha. Adityaha means one who is born to Atiti is Aditya. That is Vamana. Vamana Rupa, when Bhagavan came as Vamana Avatar, so that is Aditya. Another meaning is as our elders describe, in Sanskritam, now they're looking at it grammatically and all that. Then I'll share a meaning of what Aditya is, as Bhagavan himself says. Okay, now, in spite of all our scholarship and all that, there's only, all these are to a large degree an intellectual interpretation. But we have to go beyond that in enjoying and experiencing the Sahasranama. But first, let's also look at it, what is these various, because in Sanskritam, there's an etymological meaning for all these words. Okay, Aditya means something and Surya means something else. So, when Bhishmacharya uses the word Aditya, and he says this is what all the rishis call him, there is an aspect of effulgence that he's experiencing. And one of them is, this is Atiti's son, which is in the form of Vamana, is one that comes to mind. Also, Aditya, Aditya, Ad plus Itya. Here, the Itya means to achieve, to attain, to reach. So you can attain him by using the word A. Now, what does this mean? This A sound in Sanskritam, this sound, it is not a syllable. It's a letter, right? But A, it immediately denotes Sankarshanam, which is attraction, right? And the Sankarshana mantram, Sankarshana means to attract to divinity itself, the attraction of divinity. And Sankarshana is also another name for Balarama that we saw earlier. So that Sankarshana mantram, the root from that is the sound A. So Aditya means one who can attain Bhagavan by being following the path of attraction to him. That's what it denotes. Also, another meaning is when you say Atiti, his son is Vamana. And in the Vaishnava Sampradayam, Parasara Bhattar says Atiti also means Devaki. So Devaki's son is Krishna. So they all enjoy Bhagavan this way when Aditya has. But Aditya actually to us in our life, these are all now academic, right? But how can I relate to it? The whole idea of Sahasranamam is personal experience, right? It's very beautiful to read it and enjoy the sabdhangal as they come, because they itself will give you peace. That's the power of all these words. But how can I go beyond just listening and then imbibing and then becoming one with it? That personal experience, Aditya, immediately we think of the sun. And what does the sun do? Every day we see sun, we enjoy sunrise. Sometimes we don't even see it very often. And sunrise comes and the day goes and the night comes, next day another day comes. It keeps on going and going, and all of a sudden we find that we've advanced in age or whatever it is. Children have grown up and things have changed. So many things happen, but we don't even realize it. The magical thing that takes place, that every moment by its very presence, it actually decreases and declines and takes away and chips away my lifespan. Okay, that is Aditya. So please remember that that is the meaning given by Swami himself, by Bhagavan himself. So when we think of Aditya, immediately think that's the one that Kala Kritati, is what Sankara Bhashyam says in Bhajagovinda. So this is as a play, when I'm enjoying the sun is actually taking my lifespan away, chipping away. Please remember, that aspect of Bhagavan is Aditya. Then Jyotiraditya. Now Jyotiraditya is Surya, one who is shining with all Jyoti. This aspect of Bhagavan that is chipping away my lifespan is also shining. And where is Bhagavan, sir? Yes, he's shining. Where is the effulgence? Look at the sun. That I can conceive. I can cognize that effulgence. Even though Bhagavan is incognizable beyond the mind and the words and all that, and perception, but part of it is also perceptible. That is the effulgence of the sun. That is Jyotiraditya. Bhagavan is present very much and embracing me in my life, right there as a form of the sun. Jyotiraditya. Salaidaha Adityo Jyotiradityas Sahishnuhu. Sahishnuhu. See, in our life we go through ups and downs. There is cold, there is heat, there is pleasure, there is pain, there is happiness, there is misery. Everything comes in their opposites, and we complain, sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry, whatever happens, okay, life goes on. We all continue to live until our allotted time comes, and we bear all the ups and downs in life, isn't it? We all know that. The aspect of Bhagavan that is present in us, that gives us this forbearance capability to bear pain, for example, okay, and to bear our own head weight. Sometimes we achieve something, we think we have done something great, our head becomes swollen, okay, unnecessary weight we are carrying. This aspect of that is present in our life that bears all this, that Sahishnuhu, that aspect of Bhagavan is Sahishnuhu. Gati Sattamaha. Sattamaha means something supreme, the best among the best, so to speak. Gati means the pathway as well as the goal. So how should I live my life, sir? Give me a pathway, give me a course of action. What road should I take? You put it on a GPS, how do I get to where I want to go? The pathway is very simple. The pathway of divinity also takes me to the goal of divinity itself. And that is the supreme pathway. Chakkani Raja Margamu, as Jaraja sings. This is the highway that I should travel on, is the pathway of love. That's all it is. When I travel the pathway of love, I become love itself. I attain the goal of love itself. So to put it in a very simple way, this is why Swami says, start the day with love, spend the day with love, and end the day with love. So to love and live in love is a simple pathway. That is Gati Sattamaha. That is the most supreme and the pathway that takes us to the goal. And this is how Bhagavan is present in your life, in my life. So it is not is present somewhere else. Very much, I am present in Bhagavan. Always think of it that way. And Bhagavan is always present with me. That is 100%. Whether I realize it or I acknowledge it or I disagree with it, these are all irrelevant. Okay? But he is very much present. Question is, am I present in him? Okay? Do I place myself in him? That is Gati Sattamaha. Bhagavan Bhagahanandi Vanamali Hala Yudaha Adityo Jyotiraditya Vishnu Gati Sattamaha Sudhanva Kanda Parasur Daruno Dravina Pradaha Sudhanva. Su means something that is auspicious, that is Mangalam, best. Okay? And Dhanva, one who carries a bow. Sudhanva, one who carries, in this case, Rama carries. Kodandam, we give the name of the bow that Srimad Narayana carries as Sarangam, Sarangapani, we say Sarangam. Sarangapani is not Sarangapani, but Sarangapani. So Pani means hand. Sarangam, one who carries that bow in his hand. And Pinakapani, we say like that, right? Pinakam is the name of the bow that we the name of the bow that Lord Shiva carries. So like that, Bhagavan who carries the Sudhanva, the Mangalam, the auspicious bow, okay, in his hand. And this is how the whole prayer to Bhagavan begins in Rudram. In Sri Rudram, the Rishi prays to him, you're carrying this bow. The bow means automatically arrows are also carried. Automatically arrows means you've got the quiver full of arrows also. And immediately you've got to hold it in your hand. You've got to then release the arrow. So beautifully, how all the things that happens to us, are all arrows that are thrown at us by Bhagavan from his bow. So when you look at a picture of Rama, with keeping the bow in his hand, or Shiva and all that, these are all static pictures, right? They are all good, but please remember, the arrows are always being thrown at you and me, and we get hit by that all the time. And this is what the prayer from Rudra is, to Rudra in Sri Rudram is. So beautiful it is. And so the one who carries his bow in his hand is Sudhanva Kanta Parasuhu. Now, that the moment you say Parasu, you'll be thinking of Parasurama, and Parasurama carries this implement in his hand, this particular weapon in his hand, right? That is Kanta. Now, it is understood in two different ways. Kanta as well as Akanta, depending on Sudhanva, Kanta, depending on whether is put a in before Akhanda Parasu or Kanta Parasu. Both ways you can enjoy Bhagavan. So Sudhanva is one. Kanta Parasu is with the weapon, the Kodali, as we say in Tamil, that what Parasurama carries. With that it destroys all the enemies. The same way Sudhanva, see, the beauty is, one thing I forgot to mention, so that to make sure that we all go home happily, because Bhagavan is only Karuna Sahara. So, sir, what is the arrows he's throwing at me? So he's throwing at me, all the miseries I get are all arrows thrown by him and this and that. Yes and no. Okay? Only when I get a stomachache, I realize that I've eaten something wrong, right? Something that I cannot digest. So only when I get pain, if I hit something and I get pain in my hand, then I know, my God, I did something wrong. I should not be hitting my head against a door or wall, or I should not touch a flame, right? So in that sense, they're all lessons. But the beauty is the arrows that come from Bhagavan's bow that Sudhanva, one who carrying that, or really arrows there to destroy my own enemies. Please remember that. My own enemies or the 6 enemies that I have got. Whether it is anger, whether it is desire, whether it is pride, it is a delusion, right? The jealousy. So whatever it is, those are the arrows that Bhagavan is throwing at and killing them, right? Once those enemies are gone, I shine in my natural divine splendor. This Kanda Parasurama, with this weapon that he carries, does exactly the same thing. He kills all the enemies. Again, enemies are not just physical embodiments. No. See, we have a tendency to think immediately these people who look like these are enemies, these are good. No. It is the tendencies that we're talking of here. The tendencies are either your enemies or your friends, not the physical appearance of somebody or your own physical appearance. Okay? Because physical appearance keeps on changing all the time. Remember. So Parasurama, with the weapon that he carries, he kills, eliminates all the enemies. And in that process, Kanta Parasu also means this is a Siva Rupam. There is a form of auspiciousness itself, Mangalam itself. Okay, Siva means Mangalam. What is auspicious? Only where there is truth, can be auspiciousness. And where there is truth and auspiciousness is present, automatically beauty will be present. Automatic. That is why Satyam, Sivam, Sundaram, we say. Okay? And they are one and the same. That is Sivarupi. Now, Akanda Parasu, if we take it like that, Sankara Bhashyam beautifully explained, the Kanta Parasu means one who punishes all the enemies, right? And this punishment is what coming along. If I'm angry, immediately my blood becomes thin, I become automatically mad at that moment, as we say in English, become crazy. I don't know what I'm doing. That has to be punished. Only it can be punished only through love. This is what beautifully he says. Swami says, when there is flames of anger, flames of jealousy, flames of hatred, these are all consuming me. So how do I douse that? And when there is a firefighter comes, when there is a flame, he pours water on it, right? Continuously, and the flame goes away. Like that, what is this pour? What is the whether it's chemical or whatever you want to call it, that the shower that I should pour on this flame of anger and hatred and jealousy that is welling within me all the time, is the shower of love. Continuous shower of prema will douse all the anger and jealousy and hatred, all the enemies that I've got. So that is what punishment in Kanta Parasu. Akanta Parasu means one who cannot be punished at all. Akhanda. And that is prema only. Prema can never be punished. Impossible. Impossible to eliminate prema, impossible to kill prema, to kill love. Impossible. Impossible to punish. Somebody is very loving, it's impossible to punish that love. So Akhanda Parasu, that is also another aspect of Bhagavan. So Sudhanva Akhanda Parasur Daruno Dravina Pradaha. Darunaha means one let's take it up. No, we'll just cover this and then we'll move on. Darunaha simply means anything that is impeding my progress on the pathway of goodness. There are so many things that happen. We all want to be good only. We all want to be loving only, because that's our nature, right? And we all want to be happy only. That's our nature. Nature is to be happy, to be blissful. But so many things come in between, come distract us, put us on a detour, right? Impede our progress. These are the progress of, again, those 6 enemies, right? Because I'm mesmerized, tantalized, and trapped by those 6 enemies, I lose my way, right? So these impediments in my way of being good and being loving, those are being demolished. pulverized and they are terrorized, so to speak, by this aspect of Bhagavan, which is Darunaha. So when you look, terror does not mean immediately in a demonic manner. See, Rama, when he was the Karadushana and his armies were all absolutely terror-struck when they tried to attack Rama. But Rama was the most pleasant and most loving. They just could not advance near him because his prema was so engulfing and so powerful. That is what Darunaha means. When you say that Bhayankaram means not creating fear, but creating automatic submission. Automatic submission. It is so powerful, you automatically submit yourself and fall at its feet. That is why all kinds of enemies, even the greatest asuras and everybody, will put their head in Bhagavan's lotus feet, in his presence. That is prema only. That is the power of prema. That is why it is Akhanda Parasu as well as Darunaha. And Dravina Pradaha. Let's take that and conclude it for today. Dravina Pradaha. Pradaha means to give. Dravina means whatever the devotees desire. And there are 4 types of devotees. Bhagavan himself said, whatever the devotees desire, Bhagavan grants it. This is the beauty, right? Whatever you desire, you get. Whatever I desire, I get. We call it Kalpaka Vriksham and all these things. But ideally, Bhagavan gives whatever is sought by the devotees. So Darunaha, Dravina Pradaha. Sudhanva Kanda Parasur Daruno Dravina Pradaha. Bhagavan Badaha Nandi Vanamali Hala Yudaha Adityo Jyotiraditya Sagishnur Gatisattamaha. Sudhanva Kanda Parasur Daruno Dravina Pradaha. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om.